Ladies and gentlemen, today let us reflect on the remarkable beauty and resilience of the human spirit, embodied in a woman who rises after every fall. Life, as Alan Watts often described, is a dance of dynamic, ever-changing rhythm of highs and lows, of joys and sorrows, of rising and falling. And within this dance, there is profound wisdom to be found in the act of falling and rising again. Imagine, if you will, a river flowing. It does not resist the rocks and bends it encounters. Instead, it flows around them, sometimes pooling in stillness, other times roaring in rapids. A woman who rises after every fall is like that river. Her strength lies not in brute force, but in her adaptability, her willingness to meet life as it comes, and her trust that each obstacle is part of her natural path. To fall is not a failure, it is a necessity. In the moments when life brings us to our knees, it is not a punishment, but an invitation to pause, to surrender, and to learn. The universe, as Watts would remind us, is a balance of opposites. How could we ever know the thrill of standing tall if we did not first experience the ground beneath us? This woman who picks herself up, dusts herself off, and takes one more step forward understands that falling is not the end. It is a transition. Every stumble teaches her something. It strips away her illusions, her ego, her fear of judgment. Each time she rises, she is not the same as before. She is wiser, softer, and more resilient. She knows now that to rise is not about denying the fall, but about embracing it fully. The fall teaches her humility, but the rise reminds her of her divinity. She is not separate from life's ebb and flow, she is life. And as life moves through her, she learns to trust its wisdom. She no longer asks, "Why did this happen to me?" Instead, she asks, "What can I learn? How can this shape me into the person I am meant to become?" Alan Watts once said, "The more a thing tends to be permanent, the more it tends to be lifeless." This woman understands that her falls do not diminish her, they breathe life into her. They remind her that she is ever changing, ever evolving. Her resilience is not about staying unshaken, but about embracing the shaking and finding beauty in it. You see, the woman who rises after every fall has discovered a profound truth. She is not defined by the fall, nor even by the rise. She is defined by her willingness to participate fully in the dance of life, to feel deeply, to lose and to gain, to fall and to soar. In her rising, she inspires others not with her perfection, but with her courage to keep going, to keep learning, to keep loving. So let us celebrate the woman who rises after every fall. Let her be a reminder to us all that life's greatest strength lies not in avoiding failure, but in embracing it. In her story, we see that resilience is not a shield against life's storms, but the ability to dance in the rain. And as we witness her rise, time and again, we are reminded of our own capacity to do the same. For life is not a destination to be reached, but a journey to be lived fully, falling and rising again and again. Number 1, resilience. Resilience is the incredible ability of the human spirit to rise, recover, and rebuild after facing adversity. It is not the absence of struggle, but the presence of strength amidst challenges. For a woman who rises after every fall, resilience is her defining quality, her armor against the unpredictability of life. It is her ability to take the pain, the failures, and the heartbreaks and transform them into stepping stones toward growth and fulfillment. Resilience is not innate, it is cultivated through experience and the willingness to persevere despite setbacks. Each fall teaches a lesson, and every rise strengthens her resolve. It is the silent understanding that life is not about avoiding challenges, but embracing them as opportunities to learn and evolve. For a resilient woman, failure is not the end of the road, it is simply a bend, a momentary detour that ultimately leads her closer to her true potential. Imagine a woman who has faced countless hardships, betrayals, losses, and doubts, yet refuses to let them define her. She sees each fall not as a defeat, but as a reminder of her own strength. Resilience is what allows her to dust herself off, stand tall, and move forward with grace. It empowers her to rebuild her life, even when the odds are stacked against her. Her resilience inspires others, showing them that falling is not a sign of weakness, but an inevitable part of the human experience. Moreover, resilience fosters self-awareness and adaptability. It teaches her to pause and reflect, to recognize her inner resources, and to find new ways to navigate life's complexities. It's about developing a mindset that thrives on hope and determination rather than fear and despair. Resilience is not about pretending that everything is okay. It is about acknowledging the pain, processing it, and then finding the courage to move beyond it. In essence, resilience is the heartbeat of a woman who rises after every fall. It is the quiet yet powerful force that fuels her journey, transforming her wounds into wisdom and her struggles into strength. Through resilience, she becomes not just a survivor, but a beacon of hope and inspiration for others, proving that the human spirit is capable of extraordinary triumphs. Number 2 is courage. Courage is the force that compels a woman to rise after every fall, even when fear and doubt loom large. It is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to act in spite of it. Courage is what drives her to face life's challenges head-on, to step into the unknown, and to rebuild herself time and time again. For a woman who has experienced setbacks and failures, courage is the spark that ignites her determination to move forward. Every fall brings with it the temptation to stay down, to let the weight of disappointment and pain keep her grounded. But courage whispers that she is capable of more, that she can stand up and try again. It takes immense bravery to confront the scars of the past, to accept the reality of failure, and to believe in the possibility of a better future. Courage doesn't guarantee success, but it ensures that she doesn't give up, even when the odds seem insurmountable. Courage also requires vulnerability. It takes a bold heart to admit that things didn't go as planned, to acknowledge mistakes, and to ask for help when needed. Vulnerability isn't a sign of weakness, it's a testament to strength. By being honest about her struggles, she creates space for healing and growth. Courage allows her to embrace the idea that imperfection is part of being human, and it gives her the freedom to keep trying without the fear of judgment. More than that, courage is the force that propels her to embrace change. Life's challenges often demand that she let go of the familiar and step into a world of uncertainty. Whether it's starting over after a career setback, rebuilding after a failed relationship, or pursuing a dream despite criticism, courage is her companion. It reassures her that, though the path may be difficult, the journey is worth it. Courage doesn't mean she is never afraid. It means she chooses to act despite her fear. It empowers her to take risks, to face her struggles with grace, and to keep moving forward no matter how many times she falls. Through courage, she becomes not just a survivor of life's trials, but a conqueror of them. Her courage inspires others, showing that true strength lies in the ability to rise over and over again, regardless of the challenges life presents. Number 3 is resilience. Resilience is the unshakable strength that defines a woman who rises after every fall. It is the inner power that enables her to bounce back from adversity, adapt to new circumstances, and emerge even stronger than before. Resilience isn't something one is simply born with. It's cultivated through experience, perseverance, and the will to keep moving forward, no matter how difficult the path may seem. When life knocks her down, resilience is what helps her dust herself off and face the world again. It's not about pretending the pain doesn't exist or ignoring the reality of the challenges she faces. Rather, it's about acknowledging the hardship while refusing to let it define her. A resilient woman takes each fall as an opportunity to learn, grow, and transform. She doesn't see failure as the end, but as a stepping stone towards something greater. Resilience also thrives on adaptability. Life is unpredictable, and setbacks are often accompanied by unexpected changes. A resilient woman understands this and learns to flow with the tides rather than fight against them. She adjusts her plans, embraces new opportunities, and finds creative ways to overcome obstacles. Each time she adapts to a challenge, she builds her capacity to handle the next one with even greater poise and confidence. Moreover, resilience is rooted in self-belief. It's the unwavering conviction that no matter how many times she falls, she has the strength to rise again. This belief doesn't come from an absence of doubt. It comes from a deep understanding of her own capabilities and a refusal to give up on herself. Resilience empowers her to keep going, even when the odds seem stacked against her, because she knows that her worth isn't defined by any single failure or success. Resilience isn't a solitary endeavor either. A resilient woman knows when to seek support, whether from loved ones, mentors, or her community. She draws strength from the connections she nurtures, using them as a foundation to rebuild when life feels unstable. By leaning on others, she not only recovers more effectively, but also inspires those around her to find their own resilience. Ultimately, resilience transforms her struggles into a source of power. Every time she rises after a fall, she proves that setbacks are temporary and that her spirit is unbreakable. It's this resilience that turns her story into one of triumph, inspiring others to find their own strength in the face of life's challenges.